Welcome back to the Keep It Kula Podcast. If you are watching this, you will see what I'm holding. Postseason 2025 Blue Jays clinched. I'm going to wave this around. Wave it around a little bit. Soak it all in. It's Jaxon Kula here, joined by cousin Owen, once again, always an honorary guest host. I still don't technically have the words to put it. We're filming this the next day. But yesterday, the Blue Jays clinched the AL East, are headed to the ALDS, and I was lucky enough to witness that game. First of all, Owen, how are you doing, man?
Good. I'm doing well. Yesterday was a very exciting Sunday, as you just talked about. The Jays cooked. The Jays cooked. They looked great. It was super exciting. Obviously, there's a lot of players and people we got to talk about. But what a day! What a day!
What a day it was, and we are going to talk football. Don't worry, I caught up on everything. For the listeners and the viewers of the show, you guys all know that I'm a huge Giants fan, and cousin Owen here is also a huge Giants fan. So when I was getting ready to go to the game yesterday, I was watching the first drive of the Giants and got to see Jaxon Darts absolutely cook. But I do want to wait on that, talk about this Jays game. So I was invited to this game. I was not planning on going to this game, but I got an invite, and I'm like, yeah. And this was before we knew if this game would even matter or anything. So the night before, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I'm about to go to probably the most important regular season game of all time. And so I couldn't sleep. Like, I actually was so anxious and nervous. And like that morning I got up and I was like, okay, like I want to go now. I want to go. I've been to 8 games this year and I've seen 8 wins. Isn't that crazy, Owen, man? Like,
listen, it's unbelievable. So they went 94, and how many losses is it? Was it 94?
60 something.
No.
Let me check.
I think you might be right, 68, maybe 94, 68. I'm not sure, but okay, approximately 94 and 68.
Yeah, 94, 68, yeah.
Okay, so 94 and 68. So if we're doing the math, right, like if you're to go to, let's say, just 4 games to make this easier, like you're expected to win 3 games, right? Like I mean, if you get unlucky, like 2 of 4, right? But really the math dictates if you go to 4 games, you're going to win 3 of 4. Like if you're unlucky, 2 of 4, and then obviously there's a lot of times you're going to go 4 of 4. So if you think about it, if you went to 8 games, right, like you're expecting to see 5 or 6 wins. So you went way above expected value. 8-0 is just like crazy good luck. Or maybe you bring the luck to the Jays. Maybe you create the luck.
I think I just bring the vibes. Like, I'm rocking my George Springer jersey right now. The hat I'm wearing is actually very historic because this is 2015 division champions. The last time we won.
Jose Bautista.
2015 division champions. I need to get myself a 2025 one now, but
no.
I'm rocking. Got this hat. Probably just started grade 9. Was 13 years old still. Wasn't even 14 yet.
Crazy.
This is like how historic this is. But yeah, as you were saying, I bring in the luck. I've never been to any sporting event this many times in a season. I'm very lucky. Thankfully, a lot of them I did not have to pay for it. A lot of them I just got lucky with someone won something, or I was invited to something, or I was very lucky, very blessed, very privileged to be able to go to these games. And yeah, man, like that game though yesterday was seeing Alejandro Kirk hit a freaking grand slam in the first inning. I don't think I will ever be able to properly explain how I felt in that moment. Not to mention it was Kirk's first grand slam of his career. The vibes in that place were unbelievable. You would think it's the World Series. You would think it's Game 7 of the World Series, the way that it felt. And it really did feel like that because for me, and I'm sure a lot of people felt this way, that if the Jays lost yesterday and had to play in the wild card, it was going to be very difficult to win because we're playing the Red Sox and Crochet, who has been so hot. Our team is so injured. Bo Bichette may not even be playing in the ALDS anyways, right? Then we don't know what our pitching situation is going to look like. It would be a disaster to be in the wild card. So the fact that yesterday we won and also winning, 13 runs was just absolutely incredible. I can't imagine a better day. I literally said, like, that was one of the greatest moments of my life, watching the Jays win and seeing all the guys storm the field and the celebration and the banners, and like they were giving these out with the postseason clinched. Like, I could not tell you a more exciting moment I've ever had at a sporting event before.
It was pretty incredible. It was incredible to see. I sort of, on theme with how I've felt, throughout all of our podcasts, sort of kind of expected the shoe to drop. Like, all right, yeah, of course they choked and the Yankees are tied with us or half a game back or whatever. So I really did expect, like, at some point they're just going to drop the ball. The Yankees are going to win out. Like, I really did feel like in classic Toronto fashion. And honestly, I was wrong. They didn't. They won every game. They won their last 4 games, which was awesome. And it's a great way to go into the postseason, right? Like, they demolished the Rays yesterday, 13-4. I think it was the 7th inning where they had, I think Springer had a home run. They got a bunch of doubles, right? Like, they had it was the 7th, if I believe.
Yeah, Barger, Springer, like.
Yeah. I remember by the end of the inning, so I had plans last night with friends, and I was like, hey, just strike out. Like, I literally just want to go to my plans. Like, I'm not even kidding. I was rooting for them to strike out because they already had 10, 11 runs. I'm like, okay, we win. Like, strike out. Let me go see my friends, So it was funny. They just a double, like, home run. It was crazy. Yeah, I mean, and you obviously talked about Kirk, right? Like, my whole life, my favorite position's always been catcher. When I play softball, I'm a catcher. I just love the position.
Yeah.
Like, my favorite players ever are JP Aronceivia and Greg Zahn.
Yeah.
I liked Kirk, but I don't think I would have said he's my favorite player. But I think now, like, I always love catchers anyways. It's hard not to love the guy now, right? Like,
it's hard not to love this guy, man.
Oh, he was unbelievable. It's unfortunate. I feel like I brought this up on your podcast that one of the Jays players is a neighbor of mine. I feel like
yes, yeah.
Our neighbor didn't pitch so well yesterday. He did not pitch so well.
Did not have his stuff. However, we all gave him a big standing ovation, which was interesting. People kind of started getting up when he was coming out with the bases loaded. And there was something with a lot of respect there because the score was 4-3. We were only up, we were up 5-4 or 4-3. And yeah, 5-4. So it was a very stressful moment, right? Because it was after the Grand Slam. Like, we thought we were just going to take it over, and then it gets to very close game, right?
Yeah.
And so you would think that, not necessarily booing, but that the stadium would be feeling, would be on edge. But he got a standing ovation. And I think that's what really shows you what this kind of fan base feels about this team, was that Gausman did not have his stuff yesterday, but he has been our ace, and he will be our ace moving forward. I assume he's going to play in Game 1 of the ALDS, but the fans and the team know what his worth is and how important he is to this team, and it was just really beautiful to see.
I agree, and that's the thing too, right? Like, he's been really good for the Jays all year, so there's no point of booing him. Like, give him his flowers. We want him to pitch well in the playoffs, so hype him up, make him feel good, don't make him feel bad. I actually think the fan reaction is amazing because he is going to be pitching in the playoffs, so we need him. And hopefully he has some great games in the playoffs, and maybe my neighborhood has a nice party for him. Who knows?
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I also want to mention with Kirk, like, we already talked about him a little bit, but I thought it was really cool when he did the curtain call. He kind of took off the old cap to the crowd. I thought the reason I thought that was so cool was obviously you could have many more big moments in the playoffs, but there's a chance, hopefully not, but there's a chance that's the biggest home run, biggest moment of his life, right? He makes it 8-4, right? Gives them a little bit of cushion. Second home run of the day, right? Second or third hit of the day. I think it was home run double.
Yeah. Home run double. Yeah, home run. Yeah.
I loved the curtain call. I loved it. The curtain call I thought was awesome. Like, huge moment, biggest moment of his career. I loved the curtain call. I really did love that.
It was spectacular because after he hit that second home run, I believe that's when Barger went out on to bat, and Kirk was like thanking the fans and blowing kisses, and everyone starts freaking out, cheering. And I'm looking at Barger at the same time, and he's about to bat. Like, a pitch is coming to him, and we're all freaking out. He's probably thinking, like, the hell is going on? What is going on? And it was like, I've never seen something like that before. Someone really embraced the fans like that. But Kirk doesn't, like, when he hits a home run, it's not a lot, but he doesn't show a ton of emotion, but he brought it all there. And then every time he was at bat after that Grand Slam, standing ovation. We all gave him standing ovation. Even when he got out, he walked back into the dugout with a standing ovation. It was just unbelievable stuff. And yeah, like, that may be the biggest moment of his career, because it's his first career Grand Slam. It's something he's gonna remember for forever, which is no doubt. Obviously, I hope he has a bigger moment in the
Yeah,
playoffs. But
yeah,
seeing that was just so special. And yeah, to be able to go into the playoffs with that game is amazing.
amazing. You couldn't ask for a better way to get into the playoffs. They destroyed them. It really it was just a great way to go into the playoffs. It was stressful for only a little bit, and then they really blew kind of the game out of the water. So I agree. It was a perfect way to go into the playoffs. I think I have to be a little bit negative because that's been the theme all of our podcast, me being
Yeah.
negative about the Jays. So let me get a little bit negative again. I do think it's really concerning when you sign a guy to 14 years and pay him $500 million. And I'm like, oh, he played well. He had a single. Like he played great today. He had a single. I say that very sarcastically. I think it's look. He was actually fine yesterday defensively. He was really good, and he actually had a hit, which was a nice change.
RBI, yeah.
Yeah, I
RBI.
think it was, the way the season ended for him is pretty shameful. And big time players show up in big moments, so maybe in the playoffs he does something. I don't see how they can win a World Series without him performing because you have to understand that some of these guys are going to come back down to earth. Varsho, down to earth. Kirk, down to earth. Maybe Springer isn't MVP of the whole league. Like, we have to assume maybe Bichette's not there, or if Bichette is there, maybe Bichette's struggling because he's still not fully healthy. I just don't see how they're going to win a World Series and this guy doesn't get, I don't know, 5 home runs, 7 home runs, whatever it is. I'm like, he doesn't hit singles, doubles, right? Maybe I'm crazy, but
No, and I'm a very overly positive person when it comes to sports, as everyone who listens to this podcast knows. But you're 100% right when it comes to Vladdy, right? He's our $500 million man. He is the face of this franchise. And if Vladimir Guerrero Jr. does not show up in the playoffs, then I think it's going to be near impossible to win a World Series because, yeah, right now it's been great. Everyone showed up. Miles Straw hit a freaking triple yesterday. You know what I mean? It's like I love Straw. Like my brother is like the biggest Miles Straw fan in the world. So I was like he was freaking out at home watching that. But yeah, it was just with Vladdy, he needs to figure his stuff out. But I think he is going to, and I'm very confident that he will because yesterday I definitely saw, even though he only had that one single, which was an our RBI, he's swinging with a lot more power, it looks like, and he looks a lot more comfortable at home plate when he's at bat. So I think he's saving it all for the playoffs. Obviously, he's not planning on doing that. Obviously, he was planning on hitting, 10 home runs in a game like you always want to. But Vladdy, I think, is going to show up. But yeah, if the season ends with Vladdy having a terrible playoffs, then it's going to be really tough to justify the $500 million for 14 years. You're 100% right. And I think every Jays fan will feel that. But right now, I am confident that he's going to figure his stuff out moving on because he knows that he needs to be that face. It's it's Springer, it's him, it's Kirk, it's Barger, it's Varsho, it's Bichette. Hopefully, we have big names that need to show up, and Vladdy is that number one guy who has to.
yeah, I agree, and I think two of the biggest X factors and maybe two of the biggest question marks, not even necessarily X factors, have to be Vladdy for everything we just said, and Jeff Hoffman. I don't trust the guy at all. I liked what I saw from Fluharty. I liked what I saw from a bunch of the guys yesterday. I do not trust Jeff Hoffman at all. I don't think he's given us reason to trust him the way the last couple of outings went. At the end of the season, he got bailed out that there was no runs. Both innings, both times he came for, I believe they were save opportunities. Either way, when he came to the ninth inning, did not look good in either game. I sort of feel like if Jeff Hoffman is great in the playoffs and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is great in the playoffs, they can make a run. But if those two guys are bad, I could see trouble, right? And I know they're both, one's a pitcher, a relieving pitcher, and one's our superstar, first baseman. But, it's our best player, and then a guy who is going to come in games where they're going to be tied or winning by 1, right? So it's one thing to come into a game in the ninth inning when you're up by 3, 4, 7 runs, but it's the playoffs. So if we're facing the Yankees, let's say, he might come into a game where we're up by a run, tied. Like, can you go in there and not give up a double and a single and can you go basically 3 up, 3 down? I haven't seen that, and I hope he can bring that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling nervous about him. I have been a Hoffman defender this year, but I am nervous for the playoffs because you're right. This is where it's going to be all the pressure. We're not going to be playing, low level teams. We're going to be playing either the Red Sox or the Yankees. Yeah. And those teams are hot, right? We saw the Yankees the past 8 games or so. They're unbeatable. Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge look like the best they've ever looked this past week. So it's going to be really stressful, I would say, to not have faith in your reliever. And unfortunately, the city doesn't. I know the Blue Jays do, and I know John Schneider has a lot of faith in Hoffman, but he's really going to need to figure out his stuff and his confidence going into the playoffs. Listen, he has 5 days until Saturday, and if it comes to a point where he needs to step up, then that's really going to be telling in game one. It's at home, it's in Toronto, it's the biggest game of most of those guys' lives. So it is going to be stressful to see Hoffman. It's hard to have a lot of faith in him. So, yeah, if Hoffman doesn't have his stuff, then there's no way we're going to be able to win a World Series. And the bullpen, though, has been fantastic, and that has been a really great. It's been a silver lining, I'd say, even with Gausman struggling yesterday and some of our pitchers struggling, like Scherzer as well, and then Hoffman kind of, being worrisome. Like yesterday, our bullpen allowed 1 run.
They were great.
I mean, sorry, 1 hit.
Yeah.
Our bullpen allowed 1 hit. Varland allowed 1 hit, but Fluharty, none, Little, none, Fisher, none, and Lauer, none. And seeing Lauer close that game out, obviously it wasn't a save position. He didn't really need to.
Yeah.
But to see that and all these guys rallying and figuring out their stuff, because a couple of weeks ago we were saying that the bullpen is what was going to screw us. Mm-hmm. And now I'm saying our bullpen is what's going to carry us.
Yeah, they look great.
It's fantastic stuff, but yeah, it's definitely worrisome with Hoffman. So you make a great point that, yeah, if Vladdy and Hoffman don't show up, we're out of there.
Yeah. And I mean, the Yankees, for all intents and purposes, are on the Jays level. They have the same record. I know we were better than them in the regular season, but it's the New York Yankees. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people are favoring the Yankees in that series, right? Yeah. Like if a lot of the analysts take the Yankees to end up beating us. So, like, going into that series, at best, we're a slight favorite. Like, slight, right? Like, I don't think it's – I don't know what odds are. I haven't looked. I don't really sports that much. But I would guess if I were to look at the odds, it would be Jays maybe very slight favorite, right? So, it's like we're going up against a team that, meets our match, and we're going to have our best stuff if we're going to have a chance against the Yankees, right?
Yeah, and looking, though, at the ALDS, who would you rather see? Would you rather see the Red Sox or would you rather see the Yankees?
There's a part of me that's like petty, and it's like the Yankees because we have a bigger rival with the Yankees, and I'd like to dispose of the Yankees. I think ultimately it's a great series regardless. I mean, I think the Yankees are the better team, so I guess in that case the Red Sox. But here's the problem with the logic here is if the Yankees are the better team, but the Red Sox beat the Yankees, well, what does that say about the Red Sox? That means the Red Sox are also really good. So I don't think it's a peach either way. I think the Yankees are the better team. And avoiding Aaron Judge might be nice, although Aaron Judge, talk about choking, he loves to choke in the playoffs, as we all know.
Yep. We do.
But I guess if I had to pick my poison, I'll choose the Red Sox. But either way, we're in tough. Like I know baseball's hard to predict, but I don't know. I feel like either of those series goes 4 or 5 games, and they're close games, and you have to really bring it. Why do you have a big preference between those two teams, or
looking at that matchup, if it's Jays versus Red Sox or Yankees, both teams scare me, but then both teams, I feel like the Jays can pull it off. The Yankees, yeah, we have that rivalry, obviously. We have that Canada week that both of us were able to experience. Yeah, sorry, I also have to say this. I saw the George Springer Grand Slam live, and then I get to see the Alejandro Kirk Grand Slam live. Like, just unbelievable stuff I got to witness. But I think I would prefer the Yankees because the Red Sox are a very dangerous team, like a secretly dangerous team, and they have great pitching. Someone like Crochet is just absolutely unreal, and it makes me very nervous. The Yankees pitching necessarily doesn't make me nervous. It's the hitting. It's the fact that Aaron Judge can, are we going to intentional walk him the whole time, and then that can screw us as well. I think I'd rather see the Yankees, though. Listen, I'd rather see whatever team we can beat, obviously, but I think I'd rather see the Yankees against the Blue Jays just to continue the rivalry, continue the division race kind of rivalry that we had the past week where, all week hate watching the Yankees and whatnot. Like, I think I would like to see the Yankees more, but I don't want to be, regret saying that in a week. But yeah, I think the Jays can match up better with the Yankees, though. So I think that's who I'd rather see.
I mean, it'll be fun regardless, right? Yankees, Red Sox, whatever it is. It's going to be fun. It's going to be in Toronto, right, to start off. So Saturday night can't get much better than that. It's exciting. It's an exciting team. They defied the odds, right? The team wasn't that different from last year, and last year they were terrible. Just everything kind of came together. So it's exciting.
Yeah.
I really, fingers crossed, they go on a run. It would be really exciting.
Very exciting stuff. And yeah, before we move on to football, I was looking back at some of my old clips, and I have a clip of me talking about how the Blue Jays team is special back in June, like June 2nd or so. They were, I don't know, 2 games above 500, and all my comments were crazy. What are you talking about? Not a chance. Not a chance. Not gonna make the playoffs. Look at us now, guys. Look at us now. I want to go back on all those comments and say, well, we won the AL. We won the entire AL. So to be petty, I might do that. But yeah, as you said, like this wasn't supposed to happen this year, and that makes it even sweeter. So hopefully, listen, we clinched. I'm gonna keep this forever. It's like,
Yeah,
piece of
beautiful.
paper and a stick,
Nice.
but I'm keeping this forever. I got this at the game.
Nice.
So very excited. Definitely going to have a lot of content this week. Lots of Blue Jays stuff. I was posting a bunch too at the game at Keep It Kula Podcast on Instagram. So everyone go ahead and follow that. Now I do want to move on to football. It's hard to, watch a lot of football with the Jays yesterday because it was just so crazy. But we talked a little bit about the Giants at the beginning. You and I are both big Giants guys, and we love that team. And as I said, I got to see Darts' first drive. You watched that entire game. What did you see that impressed you the most from Jaxon Dart?
I mean, I think his pocket presence is great. I don't like. It's so weird with Wilson. I don't know if it's a matter of him being small or just over the hill, but it's sort of. I felt good watching him just in the pocket, like just maneuvering, going for a run, throwing the ball. It just felt good, and it wasn't perfect. And there was a few times he got sacked, and like any game, it wasn't perfect. But ultimately, the kid has poise. That first touchdown, that was a thing of beauty, looking like Josh Allen with the wheels out there.
A little dance at the end too.
Little dance. I mean, him and Dable are kissing after the game, right? Like it was just fun. It felt good watching him. And again, it wasn't perfect, but this is a very imperfect team. I think the really exciting thing for Giants fans is like maybe we have our Eli Manning, or I'll even say this, and no disrespect to future Hall of Famer 2025, 2026 Eli Manning. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Like, it's possible skill-wise he can be more skilled than Eli Manning, right? It's not like me or you ever argue he's the most skilled quarterback ever.
Yeah.
We just know that he's clutch and that he was a winner and that he got it done when it mattered most. So it's like maybe we have a quarterback that, in terms of talent, is better than Eli Manning and from Ole Miss. It was exciting. It was great to see a win. It was great to see the defense step up like usual. Brian Burns was fantastic. It was just
Dexter
fun.
Lawrence,
Sexy Dexy with the pick. Woo, that was fun. That was fun. Yeah.
It was awesome. Like, so today I watched like the full recap highlights, so I was able to really take it in. And yeah, like the thing that I loved the most from the Giants was, the thing, I'm going to say what I didn't love. We're going to talk about the turf soon with Malik Nabers. I know we didn't want to start off that because it's brutal, but I feel like Dayball's still a little bit, he's not so creative yet with Dart, and I think that will come with time because some of those play calls I didn't love, like that the third and goal call, running it, I didn't necessarily love that.
I did not understand that at all.
Because you have someone like Dart who I think you go for a passing play, and listen, Dart can run, right? We've seen it. Yep. We've seen him run, right? We saw that on that first drive, and it was something special. And so I think they got to figure out how to be a little bit more creative because you couldn't really be so creative with Daniel Jones, right? Daniel Jones is not Dart. When I watch Jaxon Dart, I see a little bit of Josh Allen. And, I know, he's no Josh Allen. I see a little bit. He runs fast. He goes head first, which he should not be doing, but he'll learn. He's gritty out there. He has moxie. Like, there's something really damn cool about this kid. And he has a great arm, which we didn't get to see a ton of yesterday. He went 13 for 20 and 111 yards, I believe. So we didn't get to see a ton of that. And also, so much pressure on him with the O-line wasn't great. But so, they got to learn how to be more creative with him. But the good stuff that I saw is, listen, Scattaboo and Jaxon Dart is the greatest duo I think I've seen on a Giant squad in a really long time. It's something really special, and I'm really excited. And also just the way Dart, the way, as you said, like in the pocket, like he just has a lot of confidence out there. When you watch Daniel Jones on the Giants, he never really got comfortable. It never looked like he was able to set his feet down and was able to actually take a deep breath. With Dart, the way he came across was that he was comfortable. Yeah. He felt ready, right? At MetLife, his first starting game at MetLife against an undefeated team, with your 0-3 team, yeah. Right? Getting that win, it was something really special. But, after some great moments in that game, there was a bad moment where our star wide receiver, arguably a top 3 wide receiver in the NFL, Malik Nabers, went down with a non-contact injury, and it was then ruled that he tore his ACL. What was going through your mind? Because I assume you were watching that live, right?
Yep. Give me 1 second.
See, I got the alert. I was driving to the game.
Yep. Give me just 1 second. 1 second.
Yeah.
Here he is.
Oh, boy.
Oh
boy.
What was in my mind?
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful. It was a birthday gift for my brother. Shout out to my brother. It really is a beauty. Wow. Had to give it a kiss, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly devastated. Like.
Oh, by the way, for the listeners, it was a photo of Malik Nabers. Sorry, got throw that there.
Yes, nice painting photo.
Confuse people. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it was devastating. It's devastating that his best weapon exits during the first half of his first game. Pretty cool. They still got the win. Other guys, Slayton, other receivers and people stepped up. It looked really bad. I kind of felt in my head like it was ACL, MCL, and it just didn't look good. The turf, the leg went awkward. It's devastating. Yeah, he's the best player on our team. I don't think there was any debate about that. And he's top 3, top 5 receiver in the NFL. So, it's already a depleted team, and you're making it a hell of a lot worse. I think the one nice thing about Sunday and in general is he kind of put the stamp that it's his team, Dart. Like, that was what was really nice. And Tom Brady talks about it a lot, right? It might be an injury. It might be a quarterback playing badly. When you get your shot, you really have to make the most of it. And that's exactly what Jaxon Dart did. He had swagger. He looked great. I look forward to kind of seeing his progression throughout the next 13, 14 games, whatever it is. But yeah, we will miss this guy. Obviously, we really hope he gets healthy and, he can return next year and look good again. But it's tough, man. The more of these injuries, it's like hard to come back. And you don't know if the knee is the same afterwards. So it sucks. Like, as much as there was positives, it's a really big damper. How did you feel about that?
100%. Yeah. Like when I got the alert and I was like, you got to be freaking kidding me. And then I watched the play and yeah, it instantly you kind of you know it's bad. And Odell tweeted out last night. Odell Beckham Jr. One argue who. He probably would have gone down as the greatest New York Giant wide receiver of all time if it wasn't for his injuries and whatnot. But Odell tweeted last night saying, "Dear NFL, I mean this with the utmost love and respect. We, the NFL, take all the precautions in the world with everything else when it comes to players' health and safety. Please, please, please get rid of the turf. Thank you in advance. Love." We have seen devastating injuries, ACL, Achilles, whatever it may be, at MetLife Stadium with that turf, right? We saw it with Aaron Rodgers a couple years ago. We see it every year. We saw it with Nick Bosa a couple years ago. I remember Saquon, was it Achilles? Sterling Shepard, back-to-back ACL, then Achilles. We have seen so much that stuff happen at MetLife on that turf. What is the NFL going to do about this problem, or are they going to leave it and let guys ruin their careers when they play at MetLife?
I don't know, and I don't know a ton. I don't want to act like I'm an expert. Turf, soil, fake grass. I don't really know how all that works. I've heard stuff over the year about changing some sort of other type of field texture. I don't know. I mean, the truth with the NFL is, and I love the NFL, but they have so many losses for a reason, right? Guys have CTE. NFL was covering it up, and then you have the lawyer representing 100x NFL players because the league didn't do anything. We know that guys, at halftime and after games, are shooting up crazy drugs and taking these things to get themselves through the week, right? Like, I read Michael Strahan's biography, one of the best books I've ever read in my life. He talked about crazy what he was talking about, what he had to do for 15 years in terms of drugs and all this stuff. And pills and everything, right, just to keep their body going and make sure they can actually walk properly.
Mhm.
So I don't think it's a stretch to say the NFL doesn't really care about its athletes that much. And I know these guys are paid handsomely, but I don't know. I think it's a business, and it's business for the players, business for ownership and the GMs, and for Commissioner Goodell. So I don't know if I see a change coming, right? Like, I don't know. I think they just view it as the cost of business, right? Like, maybe it changes if there's enough, in the offseason with the NFLPA, right, Players Association. But I don't know. To me, I view the NFL as I don't want to say a greedy league, but a league. And listen, I love it. I watch it every Sunday. I watch it every Monday and Thursday. I contribute. I'm part of the NFL economy for sure. But I don't necessarily view them as a compassionate organization. Like, we see guys who beat up their wives 7 times and then get 2-game suspension. Like, look at Tyreek Hill. The guy has so many demands, right? Like, it's not like the NFL is out here and really policing its players and making sure that they're cracking down on guys who are committing crime and making sure
100%.
that they have lawsuits and stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I know I'm on a bit of a tangent here, but yeah, I don't think they
You're
give
right.
is my answer. I don't think they care at all.
Yeah, and I think you make a great point. Yeah, listen, we see all those allegations against Tyreek Hill, and to be able to see him play every Sunday is disturbing to say the least. With a lot of these athletes, we know there's video proof of a lot of bad stuff these athletes have done, and to see them playing is pretty gross to see. I would say Deshaun Watson being in the NFL still after numerous claims, and it's pretty. Listen, all the Cleveland Brown fans hate him anyways, so it's not like they don't even support him, but it's pretty messed up stuff. I would say that the NFL allows this. A lot of sports allow this, but I feel like, when I look at the NBA, those guys seem much happier. I feel like Adam Silver really listens to the players. He's not perfect. He's nowhere near perfect. None of these commissioners are perfect. But I feel like at a point you got to listen to some fans who are very angry with allowing guys to be in the NFL, right? And then you got to listen to players who are scared for their knees and their calves and whatever bones in their body playing every Sunday, because these guys are getting hurt and it's ruining their careers, right? We've seen so many career ending injuries at MetLife. So yeah, I think the NFL really needs to figure out some better stuff to, they're doing all these things to grow the game, right? They were just in Ireland. They were in Brazil. They travel everywhere. They're trying to make this the biggest sport in the entire world, not just America. But, if you're going to do that and we're all going to support you, you have to do some stuff for us and for your players, right? You guys make billions and billions and billions and billions of dollars, Roger Goodell and the NFL. However, the fans are unhappy and the players are unhappy. What are you going to do to fix that? I think that's the biggest thing. And yeah, Odell's right, calling out the NFL because, they talk about they care about the health and the safety. And then something like this happens and it's, oh, well, I guess you're going to miss a year and a half.
Yeah. And look, I believe, if I'm not wrong, the average span of a running back's career is about 2 to 3 seasons, which is not a long time. We know of all the star guys, right? You know about your Derrick Henrys, your Marshawn Lynch's, your Arian Fosters. We know about all these star running backs, your Christian McCaffreys, your Saquon Barkley's. A lot of guys who are 2-3 years, they make some money, but they're not super, super wealthy. You have guys who end up working random jobs after. We've seen extreme cases, and not just the NFL, NBA and other sports too, where guys end up going broke or homeless, right? So I don't know, if a guy only has 2 or 3 seasons, right? Let's try to make it a good 2 or 3 years for that player, right? Maybe not injury riddled. Naturally, the NFL and football is just a super violent sport, so there's only so much that they can do. But I agree, if the turf or whatever they're playing on is an issue, and a majority of the players in the NFLPA wants it changed, I think they should honor that. Again, I don't want to claim I'm an expert. I don't know a lot about turf and grass and field. I really don't. Yeah. But if there's something that majority of players prefer, I think they're the ones that are out there every Sunday, Thursday, and Monday. But it should be within their rights to kind of make that change. So
yeah, 100%. But yeah, listen, like that Giants game was great. Watching them win was great. But yeah, it definitely puts a damper on Nabers and on the season. But Nabers is going to be there supporting them, and he's going to be supporting Dart. And listen, he finally gets Jaxon Darts. He finally has a quarterback who kind of matches his swagger. I would say, But I do just want to talk a little bit about the other games that we got yesterday. The biggest, I think, shock to me was the Ravens getting blown out 17 points by the Chiefs. I was at dinner after the Jays game, and I was watching a little bit of it. But is it because the Ravens have a tough schedule, or are they just not as good? You know?
Yeah, I don't know. It's so weird. Like, okay, we should keep in mind they had Bills and Chiefs, so very
Yeah.
reasonable to lose to both those teams. Very
And
reasonable.
Lions who have been like really hot too.
Right. So, and their only win was, who was their win against? It was the bad.
The Browns, right?
So Browns, yeah. So and Lions, I totally forgot they just had the Lions in a headbanger the
Yeah.
week before. It was the Monday night, I think, that week, or Sunday night the week before. So
Yeah,
they lost.
sometime.
You could argue they lost to three of the best teams in the NFL. So they still might end up being decent. They might be able to still or have a shot at the playoffs still, right? They could definitely go on a run and get in. So I think that is really worth noting. Like, take in, look, I don't think most people would say Lions, Chiefs, and Bills are top three teams in the league, because I don't think people view the Chiefs anymore, and the Lions are probably a little bit. But if someone presented to you an argument, Jacqueline, and said, "Hey, these are my reasons why the Lions, Chiefs, and Bills are top three in the NFL," you might not fully come out agreeing, but it's like, okay, you can hear arguments there. It's not like they're telling you, "Oh, the Jaguars are top three." Then you're like, all right, this person doesn't know what they're talking about. So what Malik point is saying that is you can make an argument they lost to three of the best teams in the league. So I think there's more there. I think they still have a good chance of making the playoffs. They still have one of the best quarterbacks in the world and one of the best running backs in the world, who's been struggling a lot and has been fumbling and has had some key mistakes. But if I had to guess right now, I would say the Ravens make the playoffs in the end.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think so too. I think Lamar got hurt yesterday, right? I don't know if it's anything serious. I'm not so sure what the report was after that, but yeah, they definitely have had a very tough schedule. No question about that. But yeah, I think they're gonna figure it out. And last night's game, I'm staying up watching this game. I'm exhausted. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm exhausted from this Jays game yesterday, and I'm half asleep watching the Cowboys Packers game, and it ends in a damn tie.
Yeah.
Ends in a damn tie in overtime. I hate that. I hate that it ends in a tie. College football does not allow that. Listen, I don't hate the new rule where both teams get a chance, even with the quarterback. It makes more sense. I mean, with the touchdown, it makes more sense. But come on, how do you end a game in a tie in overtime, man?
I know. Mr. Love ran out of a little bit of magic. He needed a little bit more magic, Mr. Love. Yeah, I was disappointed. I really saw them marching down that field. I was like, oh, here we go. The Cowboys are about to lose. And then all of a sudden the ball's in the air, and I'm like, oh, this ball better hit the ground quickly or the Cowboys win. So that was also horrific coaching, horrific.
That was terrible.
It's terrible. I mean, you're a second away from a disaster of a loss. So, annoying, because it's like I couldn't even really be happy, because I'm like, well, they didn't win, but they didn't lose. So it's like I couldn't really even celebrate their loss because they didn't lose. I actually kind of started feeling fortunate that the ball hit the ground the second, because, it's like it could have been a second later and they lose.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was an amazing game. Both quarterbacks going blow for blow, similar to the Cowboys-Giants, by the way. Just boom, 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 back and forth, no defense. Micah Parsons. It's also bizarre because that's also a storyline in itself, right? He goes to the Packers, and both teams, Dak wants to stick it to him, he wants to stick it to Dak. And it's like, actually, you just came out like this, even. Yeah. Just weird, right? It's hard to break it down. I assume they don't play again, right? I assume that's their only time they play.
Unless it's the playoffs, but
playoffs maybe, right? That'd be pretty cool if they ever faced off in the playoffs. Yeah, fun game. Honestly, though, just a really, really fun game.
Yeah, definitely a fun one. And listen, are the Cowboys a good team? Is that something that we can say?
No, they have one win, I believe, 2 losses and a tie, right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Only 2 losses left. So
no, 2 wins. They lost to the Bears. They beat the Giants. Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they're 1-2-1. Double check me, but I think they're 1-2-1.
Yeah, 1-2-1.
So,
yeah.
So look, and I don't know what's wrong with the Packers. They look great off the rip, and I know you thought they were really good, and we both thought they're really good. I still do think they're decent. Then they had a terrible game against the Browns. And then their defense was Swiss cheese against the Cowboys. So I don't really know what's going on. The Cowboys will probably come third in the division. I don't really see them being much of a threat in the NFC East. It's the Packers, though. that are the question mark. And now at this point, I think I'm looking pretty. Remember, you weren't sure about the Lions. You thought they were going to maybe come. I think the Lions are in that division now. Like I think the Lions, that's their division again, man. They've shown like we're the kings
here. I think it's theirs. The Vikings almost made a comeback in Ireland against the Steelers, but like there's nothing going on there. The Bears, they won yesterday. They're definitely an interesting team, but nothing really going on there. Packers definitely start off really hot, and now a lot of question marks. And the Lions are playing some great football, really great football.
I would love to see the Lions and Bills both go super, super deep.
Yes.
Like, I would love to see those two teams, make it really farther. They're both deserving teams, hungry teams that have had a ton of heartbreak, right? We know the Detroit Lions, Barry Sanders, Calvin Johnson, right? Like guys have went there, literally not died, but like basically their careers have been finished trying to bring that team a championship. So I would love to see both those teams have great regular seasons and make deep runs in the playoffs. They're both deserving, both good franchises.
Yeah, no, I would definitely love that. And I'm looking at next week's games, and there's no games that really excite me all that much. Honestly,
the Giants play next week, Jacqueline?
We're playing the Saints, so
I hope.
I'm hoping we get a dub next week. But like, other than that, there's no games that like everyone's injured. Honestly, the game of the week could actually end up being Chiefs Jaguars, which is October 6th, Monday night, because somehow the Jaguars are actually a pretty good team. They beat the 49ers yesterday.
Yeah.
The Jaguars are a pretty solid team. I think they're a very sneaky good team. None of these games, if you look at the schedule, there's no games that excite me or give me interest other than maybe Niners Rams, which is this Thursday night. So I think the game of the week can end up being Chiefs Jaguars, and I think the Jaguars can really surprise us. But yeah, Giants Saints, hoping for the dub. It really should be a dub. Jaxon Darts, they're playing in New Orleans. Do you remember that game? I think they were in New Orleans. Eli against Drew Brees. I want to say it was 10 years ago. It was like a 54-51 game or something like that. Like that's kind of what I'm not expecting that on the Saints, but I'm expecting Dart to kind of like come alive in this game. This is his chance because the Chargers were 3-0, right? Their defenses looked great. Herbert did not look like Justin Herbert yesterday at all, right? At all. So maybe the Giants have something really special, and Dart can really let that ball loose against a really bad Saints team. So I'm definitely excited for that. Yeah.
And I think if he had Nabers, I'd feel really good about that game. But obviously, missing Nabers, makes it more difficult. The Saints are really, really bad, but I think we're also not a great team, and we're missing our best player. So probably will be close, which is unfortunate. But I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, the crazy thing is, I don't know if you tracked the Saints Bills. At one point, it was looking like the Saints maybe were going to pull up the upset.
Yeah.
Bills ended up winning by like 12 or something. So they kind of were competitive with the Bills. So I have a feeling we'll end up having a close game with the Saints. But hopefully, Jaxon Darts 2-0 and.
Would love to see that. Definitely. This weekend's going to be absolutely crazy. Blue Jays are Saturday night or day. I'm not too sure yet. And then obviously football all day Sunday. This is a crazy time for sports. I'm so stressed out. It's like sports. Like it's absolutely insane. We have basketball and hockey coming back very, very soon. So just insanity happening right now. But I think that's going to do it on today's episode. Talked everything Blue Jays. Continue celebrating this week. Whatever happens will happen. Clinched. We are clinched. Whatever happens will happen. I'm hoping for a World Series, but no question that this has been one of the greatest seasons of my life or of my lifetime, and the most fun I've had building, connections with that and watching with my family and friends and the world and social media, and having the people I've had on my podcast to talk about Jays have been amazing as well. So no question, this has been such a fantastic year, and I can't wait for the playoffs to start. And listen, if the Jays win, I'm shaving your head, man.
Yeah, I will follow through. I don't know if before playoffs I can commit to it being a tattoo. I think I might have to just stick to the shaving head. But yeah, listen, I don't know logistically if we can even make it happen on your podcast. I think that might be too difficult. Maybe we could, but regardless, whether it's the podcast or not, I'll stick to it. If the Jays win, you shave my head, we have some fun, and see a world championship. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, man. All right, that is going to do it. Once again, everybody, thank you for watching the pod. Thank you, Cousin Owen, for joining me. Follow my Instagram and Twitter at Keep It Kula Podcast. Posting a lot of content there. Gonna be a lot of clips from the show. A lot of Blue Jays stuff. Malik Nabers, we will see you soon. I see Owen holding up the painting, that beautiful painting of Malik Nabers. Malik, we will see you soon. We will be here for when you come back. We're waiting for you. Go Jays, go. Exciting stuff. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Peace.